Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. What does her message mean? Advice update. I talked with her. I presented my only two conditions for this marriage to last, which is moving to the capital city and cutting all ties with AP and his family. The second one is clear for her, but the first one is an obstacle impossible to overcome. She is sorry for what she's done but not willing to move to Warsaw because we will never have a beautiful big house there, and even small apartments are very expensive to rent. She argues our kids have it easy in the small town. She only pays the bills for the flat she's currently in because it's her father's building. In Warsaw she would need to pay 4 to 5 times more for a smaller flat, bills plus rent. Plus she has all the friends and family to go to with kids after work. That's all true. I see the kids are happy and it's convenient for her. She said if we were to move, it would be only me who would end up happy about it. It would be food for my ego. It's just a tough situation because she is right about this. Even the kindergarten in the small town belongs to her sister and we pay almost nothing for it. She just put me in an impossible to solve situation. I stand my ground. I will not live in the small town, but I also see it really doesn't make sense for them to move. We agreed that in this case I'll just keep visiting and spend as much time with kids as I can. I will keep taking them to Warsaw every other weekend. She told me she will not have anybody else and will just wait for me, and that I will see it for myself in the future that she will remain single. I find it hard to believe and I don't really care. Maybe it's good because the kids will have only me as a father figure and not some random guy, I don't know. During our conversation she said some things which showed clearly that she is not a remorseful person. When I asked her why she hadn't even called me once during our separation, only sent me texts, she said she didn't have time with 2 kids running around the house. She told me she will never again speak of the affair and will never give me any more details about it if I'll ask. She is done with it. She will not share anything more with me because I told her family about some facts she didn't want me to tell them. She told me that the AP's been writing to her for many years and she kept rejecting him, but when he wrote last year it was because of my passive behavior that she decided to start the affair with him. I just replied that what she just said is beyond disgusting, and she just rolled her eyes and replied, "You're thinking only about yourself, you're the only poor guy in this." She wrote me this message today. I would like you to answer my question. I'm asking you here because if I were to do it in person, we would only shout at each other. You've told me who I am, what I've done, etc., and don't want to talk about anymore. Having all that discussed, do you want to forgive me, leave the past behind and build the family from scratch? Or you already know you don't and won't ever be able to forgive me and you will never go back to us? Please think about it and let me know if you want our marriage back or not. What does it mean? I think she is in no position to even demand me to be so specific now. I think there might be someone else and she wants to clear the situation with me. I responded, I'm worth more than a messenger conversation and we'll talk soon. For those who don't know the situation, my wife of 4 years cheated with her ex. It lasted for around 7 to 8 months for both the A and PA. I discovered it. She had many occasions to reveal the truth, but it was so precious to her she decided to keep the secret to herself. 2 kids, 3 and 1 year old. She started seeing him when the younger one was only 8 months old. We were in the middle of building a house in her hometown. I moved for her from the capital city Poland EU and basically had done everything else just to make her life better. Day 4, April 7th. Even after all that has happened, she still doesn't get it. She does not get to demand your forgiveness. Continue to focus on co-parenting and be definitive about how you view the relationship going forward. Sending strength. She wants to know whether or not it's safe for her to move her AP into their home. She's a boss. Agree. She is extremely cold and only cares about her reputation and the AP. Wow, this woman is something else. First she doesn't care about you, then she asks for you to come back, and now she is angry because you won't forgive her and come back. Mate, for me this message sounds like okay, I apologized, now stop being stupid and come back, I need someone to care of me. She sounds like an entitled brat. Please mate, don't be naive, she isn't sorry at all, she doesn't have remorse for hurting you, she has regrets because she lost the guy that provided for her. The lack of empathy is concerning. Stop wasting my time and tell me your feelings, or else you're making this harder. I'm all for not swallowing and moving on, but that takes time. And it is not on the timeline of the wayward. Demanding forgiveness is not how you reconcile. She's letting her ego speak, not common sense. Successful reconciliation requires breaking down and discarding egos, revealing the broken person below. Then you rebuild. Living in a small town, did you meet or know the AP? Was it during her affair or before? No, I didn't. He lives abroad but his family home is in a small town, so he's here a couple times every year for a while. When I think about it, I saw him once in my life, maybe 5 years ago. I was in the small town for Christmas, he flew in for Christmas as well. I went to the only bar in the city with my wife and her friends. At one point I needed to take a breath and went out of the bar for a moment. There he was standing near the entrance and looking at me viciously. So I kept looking into his eyes and I saw all his pain and jealousy. Me and STBX had a wedding on our way, etc. It was funny because we didn't say one word and everything was so obvious. After the glance we parted ways. She is under stress and she wants you to relieve that stress. She isn't ready to deal with the consequences of what she did and wants you to make it easier for her. She isn't able to deal with the insecurity she is now in and not willing to deal with you and your feelings. What a somewhat responsible BS should do the least. Maybe it is also her trying to secure her future well-being by choosing the basket to put her eggs in. That is not the behavior of a person who takes responsibility, and I don't know what you should build upon with someone demanding you to behave not disturbed and almost unaffected. As much as it hurts to leave her for the sake of the kids, you have to. This person here will continue to cheat and not look back. As a matter of fact, she probably cheated on her past relationships. She's only demanding you love her back and take her back cause you caught her cheating. She will never change, and when you leave her you will see how wild and free she really will be, and that's the real her. Wow, you better straighten up and fly right. She's ready to move on, and doesn't want to hear any whiny crap from you. /s please do not even answer her. That is incredibly insulting. Time to just let the lawyer handle this. Thanks, it sounds manipulative, the lawyer told me the same. Is it possible to live under the same roof and split the bills and parenting but not be with her as a partner? It's kind of what we're doing now. I have my room there where I work remotely and sleep. I spent part of the week there and the other here in Warsaw, renovating my new apartment. I don't feel good when I'm in the small town. She invited him to the same apartment, they were doing it on the couch in the living room, so going back there for the entire week is out of the picture. I would like this to continue for at least a couple years so I have the time with kids, then I would stop going there once they are a bit older. Then she could get together with anybody, same for me. She wants answers as soon as possible. To control this situation, you need to be firm with yourself and proceed carefully. You should point out that she cheated for 7 to 8 months, had many times to come clean, gaslit you, and she still is simply unaware that if she wants reconciliation she needs to wait. The offending parties do not get to demand instant absolution for the betrayal. I have to ask, has she shown remorse? Not just regret being caught. Has she given a full timeline for what happened? Has she gone no contact with AP? Has she apologized to AP's GF/wife if there is one? Has she informed your immediate family? These are just the standard starting point before reconciliation can be considered. It also seems she may be unwilling to suffer much or put in a lot of effort if you try reconciliation. Preferring to just insist you all forgive, forget and move on. Lack of empathy here is a big red flag. All in all, this will cause reconciliation to fail. She can actually start individual counseling now and not wait for you to join for couples/marriage counseling. You can too. Research and study up about the path of reconciliation, not advising you to right now, but it will allow you to reply to her and find out more and buy you time to set yourself up with what you would like to do. CIC and lawyers about your mental health and financial options. Plan your work and work your plan. Keep chat between wife as amiable as possible until you know what you want and what are your options. She has given me some nasty details but not everything. That's rather a standard, they never tell you everything. Everything else she doesn't remember. When I told her I wanted a full written timeline, she said she would never give me something like that. Yes, she went full North Carolina with the AP, at least I think so. She offered me her mobile whenever I wanted it. She apologized to my parents. She keeps saying that her deeds are in the past now and I got to focus on the future. That also sounds manipulative. This is not a remorseful person, you could tell she is feeling guilty of it. She cries from time to time, but she is not really sorry. When I visit my kids there she behaves like back when things were okay. Doesn't want to talk to me to check on me how I feel or doesn't try to hug me or something. I asked her many times to go to IC but she only replied she doesn't have time and money for it. I think that in case when I would tell her that I will go back to her, she would sign up for it. But I don't believe this is the right order of things. What does it mean? She couldn't care less for how her affair and lies affected you. She doesn't consider that remotely relevant. Your healing seems just too tedious for her to continue to endure. She is asking you to sacrifice your self-respect in order to preserve hers. She dangles the possibility of restoring your family as a meager and hollow incentive. The truth is though that she's already destroyed your family for the sake of her affair. In my opinion, your initial reaction to divorce and move on was absolutely correct. Build a new, better life in the city with rooms for your kids to share with you when they can. She shouldn't be a part of that new life. Yeah, it does sound like that. Like she is tired of my problems. She doesn't care about me, exactly the same situation as in her affair. She acts like she's the victim here. Have your lawyer propose a better child custody arrangement that gives you an equal amount of time with the kids. Make your move to Warsaw. Don't negotiate, either she moves there for good or it's divorce with the custody arrangement your lawyer writes up. Her excuses as to why she doesn't want to move don't match up. She says she gets more help in her town but is willing to go to another small town. The things she signed the kids up for will be even easier to find in a big city. Her dictating how and where you should live is her trying to keep control of the situation. If she truly wants to reconcile, she should be humbling herself and letting you do what you need to do, to be happy. She's had her time of being selfish, now should be the time she defers to you to heal the relationship. While I don't know how similar the laws are there, here in the US it's illegal to keep a father from his kids. Don't let the threat of that stop you from doing what you need to. As far as what to say to her in response, something like this might be appropriate. I don't owe you any answers about my plans and when they will come to fruition. However, I will say this. There is absolutely no chance at reconciliation without my two conditions being met. 1. That you never talk or see your AP again. 2. That you agree to move to Warsaw without any plans to return. Also, I think you need a reminder that whatever happens to this family is 100% your fault. I'm just reacting to your unfaithfulness and disrespect. Thank you so much. I will tell her that. It sounds reasonable. Sadly, I know her answer already. She won't move from the small town for good. This is a different opinion than everyone else on here. Don't chastise me, I am open to changing my view. I think she just wants clarity. It seems as though she wants to know if working things out with you is a possibility or if waiting around and trying with you again is a lost cause and she'll be spinning her wheels burning up the little bit of rubber she has left. I don't know your exact situation but, for lack of a better word and I mean no disrespect, she doesn't want to waste the time she has left if it will never work out. She's ready to either move on or show that she can fix it, but waiting around not knowing isn't doing anything for anyone. One could also interpret the need for clarity as having somewhat less care for the relationship and less care for Op, because if she truly wanted to work it out, she wouldn't be looking for clarity. She would be trying to repair it anyway. Thanks for the different perspective. It's just not a person who apologizes and she wants it to end. Throughout our relationship she maybe apologized once or twice. This is humiliating to her. I really destroyed her by finding out. So yeah, now she wants it to end. We hope you have enjoyed today's episode. Please comment, like and subscribe. Cheers. Have a wonderful day or night, wherever you are.